Hey, what is up YouTube? It's Yamis10 here, back again with another video. And despite my injury, as you can see, we're still pushing through with this review. And we'll be reviewing the EWEADN S9 Ultra. This was sent to me by them for review, and I've been using this for about 2 weeks now, and I'm ready to give my honest review on it. Note that they did not have any editorial input, and I'll be sharing my honest thoughts and opinions about this product. I have 19.5 by 10 cm hands, and I mainly claw grip while playing. Okay, so first, let's talk about the build quality of the mouse. Okay, so the mouse is built like a tank. There's no creaking, there's no side flexing on my unit. There's a bit of click wobble on mouse 1 and mouse 2, but that's very minimal. The Viper V3 Pro is a bit better on this, but for the price, which we'll get into a while, it's very good. And you don't really notice the click wobble, especially when playing. Next is the coating and the weight. So the coating feels decent. It reminds me of the Black Viper V3 Pro coating, which is to say it's a bit of more of a, like a wet rubberized coating. It's still good. Even when you have sweaty hands, like it still grips properly, but it's not as good as something like the matte dry coating that's present on the Viper V3 Pro White Edition and the Faker Edition. Okay. Next is the weight of this mouse. It comes in at 64 grams, which is a bit on the heavier side, especially compared to my Faker edition, which comes at 50 grams. So it's like a 14-gram weight difference. Although I do have dot skates installed instead of the full PTFE skates installed. But yeah, so it's a bit heavier compared to the Viper V3 Pro, but I think the colorway is still nice. It's the metallic red, that's same as the Sentinel's version. So the design of this is very good. I really like it. Next is the clicks and the side button. So they're using Kale white sword switches, which is the first time I've used these type of switches, and they feel decent. They're nice, they're crisp, they feel better compared to the Razer optical switches, which I'm not really a huge fan of. They're not as good as something like the Huano Blue Shell Pink Dots or the Kale GX switches, but they're better than some optical switches out there. There are some pre and post travel on my unit, but there's no double clicking out of the box, even with the debound set to 0 ms. Side buttons also feel good with minimal pre and some post travel. Okay, so for a quick sound test, this is the S9 Ultra. Side buttons. Okay. Next, let's go with the scroll wheel. It feels nice with well-defined steps. Scroll clicks also feel nice, although I don't really play games that utilize such things. Next, let's talk about the skates. So the stock skates that they're using is where I'd like to criticize EWEADN. Okay, so
21K
on their
James.
website, they're using PTFE skates according to them, but I feel like it's not pure 100% PTFE. So this means that the glide is very slow, even when I'm playing on like a glass pad. Like this gives me more of like a controlled feeling, like I'm using like the Obsidian Pros because I have the
Nice.
air dots here. But like it feels very controlled. Like the spin isn't as fast. As you can see, like I feel like there's more drag as especially compared to something like the Jade Airs. Sorry, no, the Obsidian Airs that I have applied on my Viper VT Pro. Like the spin is faster, more consistent. Like I feel like I'm able to utilize the entire thing on my pad. So if you're getting the S9, I would suggest that you replace the stock skates. Anyway, aftermarket skates like Jade skates can fit here and with no problem, and they're only $10 a pop. Okay. Next, let's talk about the sensor and the performance of the mouse. So the S9 Ultra is using a 3950 sensor, which is good. There's no sensor skipping or mistracking. Wireless connections also felt stable, and 1000 to 8K hertz also felt stable. Next is the battery life. So this does come in I told you the weight is 64 grams, and that's because of the battery. They're using a 500 milliampere battery, and the battery has been good so far. They on 2K hertz battery life is typically about 7 days with mild to moderate use of gaming. Uh, if you play heavy amounts of gaming, you might have to charge this every 5 days. But yeah, battery life really good. Okay, next let's talk shape. Uh, the S9 is almost a one-to-one clone of the Viper V3 Pro. It's just a bit taller and wider by 1 millimeter as compared to the 80K X1, which has a more forward side button positioning, making it feels more like a clone instead of a copy. So here's the side button profile for the VIPER V3 compared to the S9. I'll also pull up ELO shapes in a while to show you guys the difference, but yeah. Yeah, this is still a safe shape that's good for a majority of grips, except maybe fingertip grip unless you have abnormally big hands. I personally don't feel a difference shape-wise when using the S9 compared to the VIPER V3 Pro. The only way I'd know is based on the clicks and the coating, if I'm being completely honest. Next, let's talk software. So they only have a web-based software and it's in Chinese by default. You can easily navigate it and set it to English, but the English version just basically feels like a Google translated version of the Chinese site. So yeah, it's nothing spectacular, but it gets the job done, you know. Hopefully, uh, hopefully EWEADN stays afloat for long so that, you know, you won't have any problem down the road after 5 years. But I think they are committed, you know. I'll talk about it more in a while. Next is the price and value of money for money. The regular S9 is at $50. The S9 Pro is at $65, and the version I have, the S9 Ultra, is at $70. But on EWEADN's website, it's currently on sale for 14 to 20% off, depending on the version you get. The Ultra comes with a braided USB-C cable, an 8K dongle, grip tape, and extra PTFE skates. Okay, so conclusion time. So is the EWEADN S9 Ultra worth it? At the current sale price of $60, I say it's definitely worth it. If you find the VIPER V3 Pro expensive, but you really want to try the shape, then this is your best bet. Unlike the 80K X1, this copies the shape of the VIPER V3 Pro almost to a T. Yeah, it's heavier and the stock skates aren't as good, but if you buy J Dots for $10, you're still able to save $100 compared to buying a new VIPER V3 Pro. EWEADN was founded in 2013 and they seemed committed to sticking around the peripheral scene, so that probably means their web-based software will still be up by the time you grow tired of this mouse. They also mentioned they're exploring ways to improve their products like the S9 Max, which is only 59 grams compared to the 64 grams of the S9 Pro and the Ultra. So they, at least to me, feel like they plan to stick with this product for a while, and they're also releasing new colorways. Now, if for example, you have the money, all the money in the world, and should you get the S9 over the VIPER VT Pro? I think that depends. I'm someone who already knows that I like the shape of the VIPER VT Pro. The only reason I sold my black copy was because the coating was a bit slippery, especially for my sweaty hands. Like it wasn't as grippy as I would like. My Faker edition has fantastic coating. So between the two, I'd probably be choosing the VIPER VT Pro just because it is lighter, has a better coating and better stock skates, while overall just feels better in my hand. But that's not saying that the S9 can't hold its own against it. Not everyone has the money to spend $160 for a gaming mouse. Some just want to play games and relax after a tiring day. So if you're a budget focused person and you still want to try the VIPER V3 shape, this is the best mouse to get. If you're interested in the mouse, there's an affiliate link at the link down below. If you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.